Welcome to my Flosstube channel. This is Flosstube episode 14, where we're going to do my end of February update. Today is March 1st, and I will be talking about all the stuff I worked on in February, as well as sharing a few of my goals for March. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're a new subscriber here, welcome. I hope you enjoy these videos. I've had quite a few new subscribers recently, and I want to thank Laura from Stitching by the Shore. She mentioned my channel in her last video, so I really appreciate that, Laura. Thank you so much. If you haven't checked out Laura's channel yet, please go take a look. I'll link her below so that you guys can head on over there. So for today, we have the very first thing I'm going to show you is a new release that I have put up into my shop. It's for March. It's going to be part of a series, so I'll show you that. And then I have quite a few whips. My notes are just here in front of me. So I worked on 7 different whips this month, and then I had 2 new starts. So I'm going to show you all of that. But just to reintroduce myself for anyone who's new, who doesn't know, my name is Christina. I'm a crafter, mostly cross stitching, but I also have occasionally done knitting, crocheting, quilting, those kind of things. But this channel is just mainly about cross stitch. So welcome. I live in Ontario, Canada with my husband and our 8-month-old daughter. We also have 2 dogs, so hopefully you don't hear the dogs in the background. I'm hoping they'll be quiet. But yeah, so that's me. Let's get started. So first thing that I have to show you is my new design. So my design Etsy shop is called Sweet Violet Stitch Co, and it's there'll be a link below for you to check out the shop. But I've had 3 patterns up there, and now I've just released a 4th one. So I'm planning for this to be part of a monthly series. So there'll be 12 patterns total, 1 for each month. And so I started with March, and I released it now because today's March 1st, so you can get started on this. So this pattern is called Leprechaun House, and here it is. Sorry about the shadow, it's very sunny today here. So Leprechaun House, this is, it's a small pattern, it's 75 by 75, and I did it on I did it 2/2 on a 36 count linen in the color flax, and I used it's all DMC, so there's 10 regular DMC colors, and then the house is done in a DMC color variations. So all should be readily available. And the total stitch count is 2,311 stitches. So it's not a huge project, and I think that it'd be just, a small one that you can quickly stitch up for March. So that is in my shop now, and I'll link to the shop below if you want to check it out. And just thank you so much to everybody who has checked out my shop and purchased a pattern from it. I really, really appreciate it. I'm just so grateful to you all. So now we'll get into my whips. So what I've worked on for February. Since it was February, full coverage February, I wanted to focus on my full coverage projects. I had a number of full coverage pieces that I had already started, and I also had a few that I had kitted up already, or partially kitted up, that I wanted to start on. So I first off started on my 2 Whip Go projects. So the first one was the Grand Library, and my Whip Go goal for my projects is 1,500 stitches. So I pulled out the Grand Library, and I'm going to show you a picture. This is what it looked like the last time. And so it's a big one. I might have to slide back a little bit to show you the whole thing. Let me see. Yep. Is that it? Yep. Okay, let me go back a bit more so you can see the whole thing. Okay. So there's the whole piece, And so basically for this month I was working up in this corner. If you've seen this before, all the stitches I was color completing, so I did all of the stitches of the first color, and so then I moved on to a new color. I just ended up picking a color from up in this top corner. So it's, I don't know if you can see it very well. Oh, the sun is so bright there. Okay, it's like, so it's, oh my goodness, there's like a dark red, that's the one I originally did, and then this one is kind of like a purple. So that's the corner that I was working on up there. And I did like all of this down here and all through there. So in total, I ended up doing, I did actually exactly 1,500 stitches on that. So total stitches I've done now on this project is 18,687, and out of a total of 402,750 stitches in the piece. So last time you saw it, I was sitting at 4.3%, and this time now I'm at 4.6%. That was the Grand Library. Just put it away. Okay. So next up, the second whip go piece was Magical Merry-Go-Round. I'm gonna slide this way, but this is what is the finished piece. It's gonna look like. It's another piece by, sorry, the last one was also by Heaven and Earth Designs. And in case I forget to mention through the rest, all of my full coverage pieces, with the exception of Winter Sampler, I'll tell you that one, but the rest of them are on a 28 count gridded fabric, and I'm doing 2 over 1/10 stitch for them using the DMC colors. So next up is Magical Merry-Go-Round. This is the finished piece, what it's gonna look like finished. And then this is where it was the last time that you saw it. There was like barely anything done. And so this was a call for whip go for 1,500 stitches. So I got to work up in this top corner, kept working there. So that is, I ended up doing 2,027 stitches on it. And I'm sorry the sun is shining here. 2,027 stitches. So my total done now is 2,117, and the total out of a total of 366,100 stitches. So I'm sitting at 0.6% on this. Again, this one is also by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Josephine Wall. Okay, so that one is done. So that ended up finishing my 2 whip go pieces for the month. And I decided, since it was full coverage February, that I was going to spin my full coverage wheel and let it pick what I was going to work on. And then I would spin the stitch count wheel and just see how many stitches I was going to work on for it. So the next thing that got pulled was a new start. It's called Girls Spying Santa. It's by Stitches So Beautiful on Etsy. So I spun for 1,000 stitches to complete. So this is where I got to on that one. So there. So that's where I am, which is just, this is like the girl's dress. If you can tell, there's like, this is the back of the dress and the bottom of the dress there. So I ended up doing 1,028 stitches on this, and out of a total of 112,500 stitches. So this brought me to 0.9%. Okay, so that brought us to another spin, and I ended up spinning Winter Sampler. This is by Kooler Design Studios. So again, here's a picture of what it's going to look like when it's finished. No before picture, because this was another new start. And so this is the only full coverage piece that I'm not doing on gridded fabric. This one I'm doing on a 32 count Lugana in light taupe. I'm doing it 2 over 2, because there's fractional stitches and stuff in this, so I needed something that I was going over to. I just thought it'd be easier. So this is where I got to on that. Let me fold it a bit and try and get a thumbnail for the video, but this is where I'm at, and I like that you can kind of start to see winter here. And so I filled in all of this. So my spin was to complete 1,250 stitches, and I did 1,252 out of the total of 32,182 stitches in this piece. So right now I'm sitting at 3.9% done. Okay. This is the piece I kind of was like debating on for a while. Every time I looked at the like pattern, I was like, I don't know if I like this or not. And then I would see someone stitching it and I was like, oh yeah, I do really like this. So I ended up getting it, and I am really happy with how it's looking so far. Okay, so next up, I ended up moving on to my goal of, for my Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along, 2024 stitch along. So my goal is to complete 7,700 stitches in the month. So I kind of sprinkled that throughout. So I would do a little bit on this, and then I'd go to one of the other pieces, do a little bit on this, so that I could get to I didn't burn out doing 7,700 stitches. So I ended up completing it. I did 7,702 stitches. And so this is, let me show you a picture of what the finished piece will look like, and then where I was last time. And so this is where I am now. So you can really see the mouse there. He's looking pretty cute. So for this part, I think I've explained it before, but you get, it's broken up into like 4 parts. So you got one part January, then another part in April, another part in July, yeah, and then another part in October, and that'll finish the piece. So I wanted to finish all of these. I wanted to finish the first part before the second part comes out. So that's why the goal was so high, 7,700 stitches. But in the first month, I ended up doing a bit more, so I'm actually a bit ahead, and I only have 6,401 stitches left to do in March. So right now I'm sitting at 72.1%. Okay, and then since that was done, since my Heaven and Earth piece was done, I ended up pulling out, I ended up spinning my wheel again, and I spun another new start, which is Faith Runs Deep. Can't remember who the artist is. I got it from Charting Creations. I can't remember who the artist is. I'll try and put it on the screen here. But it's called Faith Runs Deep, and this is what the piece will look like when it's finished. I don't have a before piece because this is a new start, but this is where I got to on this. So I spun the wheel. It said 500 stitches, so I did 563 stitches out of a total of 134,251. So this is sitting at 0.4% currently. And then we were close to the end of the month, so my last spin of the month was on Trelawny's Library. So this is what the finished piece will look like. This is a piece from the Cross Stitch Studio. It's my biggest piece. It's at 800 by 800 stitches, so it's a big one. So this is, I did my spin. It asked for 750 stitches to get done. So I'm going to show you what it looked like the last time as well. And then this is where I am now. And you may notice some blue here. And this is because I had a whole bunch of stitching done down here. And I realized that I had stitched it down one grid square too many, like one 10 by 10 grid too many. So I was down by about 10 stitches. So I had to spend quite a bit of time ripping out all of these stitches, and so that took quite a bit of my time before I was able to start actually working towards the 750 stitches. So I got it ripped out and I started working, and all I really worked on was in this section here. I think, yeah, down here, this part and this part. So I ended up doing 589 stitches. So this is still my Q-snap because I'll work on it today and I'll get to the 750 just so I can finish off what I spun, and then this will go away for now. But I'm sitting at 2,969 stitches out of a total of 640,000 stitches. So this is at 0.5% complete. So that was all of my pieces that I worked on, in all of the whips and new starts, I guess, that I worked on in February, all of my full coverage pieces. And then I was just getting the itch for some small pieces and some like spring themed pieces because I don't have very many like that. And I have a lot of my whips are larger pieces, and I just wanted some like small quick finishes. So I went to my local needlework shop and I picked up a couple of things. I actually picked up a couple of patterns from Etsy first, and then I went there and I got some fabric for it. And I also ended up seeing a pattern when I was there that I liked. So just one second, let me get the pattern to show you. Just don't want to make too much bag noise. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I ended up seeing this pattern. It's called Blackbird Singing by Tiny Modernist, and I thought it was so cute. Can you see that? I don't know. I don't want it to focus on me. I don't know how well that's focusing. Let me see. Oh, it's hard to see. Anyways, this is called Blackbird Singing by Tiny Modernist, and I thought it was so cute. The little moon here and the bird on the top. And it's small, so I figured this would be a good stitch. It's only 71 by 101 stitches. So I picked this one up. I got the fabric and thread, and there's only 3 colors in it. 2 DMC, and one, they give you the DMC, and they also give you the gel art if you want it to be, because if you look in the blue, it's like kind of variegated here. So they do give you the gel art thread, and so let me grab it too. Sorry about the bag again. Okay, so I'm doing the 2 DMC. The yellow and the black are both DMC. Here's where I am on it. I've done probably about half of the border, and then I did the words on the top and one of the trees so far. There. This is a 36 count Edinburgh linen in the color flax, and I'm stitching it 2/2. And then so I'm using, DMC for the black and the yellow. And then for the blue, I'm using this, which is the Gel Art Cottage Blue. I started this on February 22nd. I think I worked on it for like 2 days. And then I went back to my full coverage pieces. So this is how much I got done in 2 days. I don't have a percentage because I'm using the paper pattern, so I don't know the percentage that I've done on it. So that is Blackbird Singing. Okay, next up we had another new start, which I think is going to be a restart again too, because I am just not loving it right now. So I decided to start for the leap day yesterday. I decided to start a long dog samplers pattern. I picked When the Stars Reply, so this is a picture of what it looks like. And I had this thread that I had picked out, that I had purchased from my local needlework shop before. It's just like really pretty, like mix of gray, like kind of a grayish purple, a lighter gray, a pink, yellow. So I just really liked this, and I thought it would look great on a like a monochromatic pattern to give it some variation. So that's the thread I want to use, and I'm pretty set on using this thread for the pattern, but my fabric has been an issue. So I originally started it on this, and see if you could see this tiny little start there. It's this is a 25 count, and I was doing 1 strand over 1 for it. It's all right, but I don't love it. The lightest gray in the thread is very hard to see on here. It's like in there, so you can see it, and on the camera you can see it better than in person, but it's just not the best, and I'm not sure that I'm totally happy with that. Plus, I'm not a huge fan of like, this Lugana is called Potato, and I liked it because it had like these speckles in it, but I don't know. I don't think I love this pairing. So then I still had some Picture This Plus Eek left. That's the one I did my All You Need Is Love pattern on. So I had some of that left, so I was like, oh, let me see how that looks. So this is what I did. And I don't love it either. I feel that it's just the variegation in the fabric plus the variegation in the thread is just too much. And I don't know. I just don't love it. So I may go make a trip to my local needlework shop, maybe tomorrow, see if I can find a different fabric to do it on, because I do really want to do the pattern, and I do really want to use this floss for it, but I need a different fabric. So if you have any suggestions for what kind of fabric would look good, please let me know so I can go take a look. Yeah. So that was everything I worked on in February. I did quite a bit. I'm pretty happy with my February stitching, and I have my year to date, so January and February total stitch count is 35,350 stitches. So I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that so far. So next up, let me see. I'm going to talk about haul. So I told you that I wanted to do some smalls, so I ended up purchasing a couple of different smalls patterns. So I got, I'm going to show you a picture, Friends for Easter from Crocette Gogo on Etsy. So there's 4 patterns in it, and I really want to do the bunny and the hen that are in it. So I picked up I'm not going to show you all the fabric and thread because it's like all the same fabric. So I got 36 count Edinburgh linen in flax and natural. So those are the 2 fabrics I got for all these patterns. So the Friends for Easter one, the 4 patterns. I think I'm only going to do I might do the other ones, but for now I'm doing the hen and the bunny. Then I got the it's called The Window of Time by Crocette Gogo, also on Etsy. And it's like a 12-month, it's a 12-month series. It's like the monthly patterns. And so I purchased the first 4 for now. So January, February, March, April. And I'm going to start working on those. I really love how they finished it in the picture. They put it in like an old window frame, and it looks so cute. I don't know how I would finish it, but I just thought that looked really cute, and I liked the patterns. So I purchased the first 4 of those. Then I also got, I wouldn't necessarily call this one a small, but I purchased the Celebrate Spring, which is like one of the tiered trays by Madame Chantilly. So this is what it looks like. So I purchased that as well. So those are things I plan to start in March, just so I can have a couple of smaller pieces on the go as well, when I'm working on my bigger pieces. So I plan to start a few of those in March. March goals. So we have, with go numbers, we're called 1 and 10. 1 and 10. So for me, this ended up being my Christmas bells sampler. Where is it? So my Christmas bells sampler, this is a picture of what the finished piece looks like. And then this is where it was at when I showed you in my whip parade, which I think is at the same part right now. So here it is. I'll just show you. This is where it's at right now. Pretty. I really like this piece. And so my whip go goal for this piece is to get it finished, which is like 6,000, just over 6,000 stitches left in it. So that's kind of a stretch with my other goals going on, like, especially since I have like over 6,000 stitches left in my Heaven and Earth piece as well. So, we'll see if I can get it finished. I'm not sure if I will, but, it's, yeah, quite a big stitch goal for this one, but to finish this would be really nice. So that's the first whip go goal. My second whip go call was my Ackworth patchwork sampler, and this is where that is. Which way does this go? Like this. So this is the Ackworth patchwork sampler, and so the goal for this piece is to do like 1,500 stitches. So I don't know, I think I might pick like one of these, like this box down here, and then maybe go to that one if I need some more stitches. So Ackworth patchwork sampler, second whip go goal. So 1,500 stitches on that. Then the Heaven and Earth design style, which I already showed you, I want to finish part 1, which is another about 6,400 stitches. And then I have the burst sampler for my daughter, which I've been working on, and I want to finish before her first birthday. She's 8 months old right now. So this is where I'm at on that. And my goal, when I broke it down into monthly goals, is 2,700 stitches. So I need to do 2,700 stitches on this in March. So all of those are quite a bit. That's like almost 17,000 stitches, just over 17,000 stitches in March, which is a lot. So we'll see what I get done. Some things might have to get pushed to next month, but we'll do the best we can. And if I meet the goals, that's gonna be amazing. If I don't, oh well, it's just, this is all for fun, right? So I also said I want to work on smalls. That's one of my goals for March. And then the other goal for March is I think I want to keep working on, I think I want to do full coverage Friday. So I want to work on one of my full coverage pieces on Friday. I think I'll pick one piece and do it every Friday that month. And then the next month I'll switch to another piece. Just so I can keep some progress on my full coverage pieces while I'm doing other stuff. But I think that's everything. Yeah, that was quite a bit. So thank you so much for stopping by again. If you enjoyed my videos, I would love it if you would like and subscribe down below. I am getting close to 500 subscribers, which is really exciting to me. So thank you so much everyone for watching the videos. Can you comment below and let me know what you're working on or what your favorite piece that I was working on this month is? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Bye.